Let me see it. Okay.
Mr. President, we have about 5 minutes remaining in the majority's first hour, so I just want to ask you some questions related to the crimes committed by Mr. Epstein and Miss Maxwell.
I had
to ask him about it.
His expression, though, was like he was reliving events. He's like, ooh.
Yeah, I mean, he's above.
Right,
he's not in a precarious situation. I mean, retardedly, Rob Finnerty was saying, he was scared and shaking. Obviously, the guy's got early stage Parkinson's. Give me a fucking break, bro. That was such a cheap shot by some people on Newsmax. He's scared and he picked up a glass of water and was shaking, Eric.
Yeah, that did not look scary to me. That looked like a guy who was kind of going, oh, I remember her. I mean, seriously.
That part, you're absolutely correct. But the shaking part, really, really, bro. I mean, what a cheap shot by some of these conservative newscasters to say he was shaking like a leaf. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, as somebody whose mother died of Parkinson's, I can actually.
What a cheap shot. But I mean, now they're going to call Trump. They said it tit for tat. As soon as he gets out of office and they're back, they're going to call him. So, I mean, what did they gain from this? As somebody said, I think it was Bill O'Reilly or somebody said, what was gained by Comer out of this whole debacle?
I'm not really sure. And that's why the whole, catching the car aspect of it coming about, it seems like there were more fireworks with Hillary than there actually were with Bill. He seemed to be kind of like, let's have a good time. But Hillary, on the other hand, seemed to be far more combative. There's an exchange that she had with all of it.
All right.
Excuse me, can I interrupt?
I have
there
another.
are photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying from inside this room. Can you please advise me as to whether or not that's permissible and consistent with the rules, particularly given that we have asked for a public hearing? If there are photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying, can you please explain how that
I'm done with this. If you guys are doing that, I am done. You can hold me in contempt from now until the cows come home. This is just typical behavior.
We will go off the record.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
So I would like to understand how that's permissible.
Before the hearing was.
It doesn't matter. We all are abiding by the same rules.
I will take that down.
Yeah,
So I would like to take a break at this moment.
Yeah,
I'd like to have
I'm
a
done
conversation
for now.
Look, I'm not a fan of Hillary Clinton's, but she's right. I mean, what is Boebert doing? It's just such amateur hour, Eric. Does she believe? I mean, she just looks like a rank amateur taking pictures of her while the committee's in session. What does she think? She's on a vacation taking tourist photos, for her Instagram account? I mean, for the love of God, what is wrong with these people? I mean, look, she's obviously, an arch enemy of these people, but
sure.
I mean, you agree to certain guidelines to this situation. They're snapping photos as she's testifying. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah, well, it's
shocking how amateur they are.
I don't know. I confess. Did you watch was it 8 hours worth of coverage? Because it's like 4 hours for each of them. I haven't.
No, I haven't. I just know that what was released explaining this incident from both sides was that Boebert started to take photos of her while she was testifying.
Which doesn't make sense. That doesn't move a narrative forward. I agree.
No, I'm just saying it's like a rank amateur tourist. I mean, I don't know. Did Frank Church take pictures of the CIA director when he was testifying during the Church committee?
Okay.
I mean, what are you kidding? It's insane.
And it's doubly silly because the whole damn thing is out right now. Well, you don't need a picture, get a video frame. It's all on video. It's right there. So I don't know what the
amazingly
motivation
put,
was,
amazing, just amazingly
but,
amateur hour.
it is what it is. And people, though, it's funny because they were saying that she was screechy, or I've got another one, and I don't know if I would call her screechy at that point. That wouldn't be the term I use, but let me see. We've got one more that was pulled from it.
That's the question. I'm going to answer your question.
Now you're going to yell
This
at
was
me?
what I spent
You're
my
going to yell at me.
time doing.
I'm a
I
survivor
spent
trying to look out for other
Well,
survivors trying to
and
get to the
I
bottom
was
of it.
taking care
You
of
waited
the
6
people
months
who
to get
lost
here today.
3,000
6 months,
lives
and now you're being
at World
defiant
Trade
and
Center.
indignant today.
You asked me
I have
about
met
Howard
with
Lutnick.
Epstein survivors. I'm a survivor myself. You have emails. You've denied that you tried to get Jeffrey Epstein to give money to you.
I did
but
not.
Howard Lutnick was
If
used
you
to
have an
get
email
money.
with me asking Jeffrey
I
Epstein
have
for
an
money,
email from Howard Lutnick sending it to Jeffrey Epstein and his people to
I
raise
don't-
money for
I don't
you
know
for
about-
an event, an intimate event for you at his offices
Well,
at Cantor Fitzgerald. You're
look,
going to sit
if
here
you-
today
if you would let me finish.
obfuscate and say to this committee, you didn't try to get money from Jeffrey
I didn't.
Epstein when
I
there was an
didn't.
intimate event in an email that Howard Lutnick emailed to Epstein's people and Epstein to get him to come to your intimate event at Cantor Fitzgerald, a very small event. And so I'm not going to public. You want to yell at me? That's fine, but I'll yell right.
Anyway, that seemed really productive.
Yeah, I mean, it's just chump change. I mean, they like you said, they caught the car and they don't know what to do about it. I mean, they made schmucks out of themselves, to be frank. And I'm no fan of her, that's for sure.
Oh God, no.
But I mean, she's a super pro. They're talking about the Grand Dragon here. These amateur hour chick, phony congresswomen who are doing this, they're going up against the Dragon Lady. That's what you brought? Dear God.
And then she was trying to, play the victim card because that was Mace going. Remember, she said, "I'm a victim. I'm a victim." I'm like,
She
well, that's
eats
not a
people like
question.
Mace for breakfast, Eric, her entire political career.
Mhm.
I mean, what a rank amateur.
Yeah. But then I don't know. Is there really anybody, I'd say, on either in Congress who is at the Frank Church level anymore, or
Well, that I don't
anybody who
know.
could
Yeah,
really
that I don't
run
know.
a committee like that? Not from what we've
That
seen.
I don't know. Yeah.
Um,
Sometimes these people rise to the occasion historically, when events happen by people who were in front of you at that time. But this did not happen here.
no, but you know what?
This is ending up in the dustbin of history as something that never even happened. After all their 5,000 TV appearances and all their FaceTime on all the Sunday shows, this is what they ended up with.
Right, but for a segue, you mentioned rising to the occasion. Well, here's somebody who actually did rise to the occasion. You had an affiliate, a CBS Austin reporter, who was texted saying, "Hey, you don't need to be covering this. You don't need to be reporting on it." And he is like,
This is a
screw
shocking
you."
story. Yeah, I mean, it's just in real time. He's looking at the producer's phone who gives him the text from Central Politburo headquarters in New York that's supposedly being run by a different person now, telling him you don't need to cover this Trump, anti-Khomeini rally here in Austin, Eric.
The thing is, I don't know if that is actually from CBS headquarters because he's an Austin affiliate. So it could have been his station manager
Could be.
coming down on him, and
Could be.
CBS Central may not have known that. And that
Could be.
is the potential difference. But I have a feeling he'll come out of this okay, because Barry Weiss is
Well, it says CBS reporter. I mean, he's being listed as a CBS
right, but
reporter.
Austin, he's an affiliate. I was looking that up. It's very quiet. I apologize.
Well, that being said, I mean, we're now into the third day of celebrations here with hundreds of thousands of people in the streets, and the local CBS, local Fox here, local affiliates here are having very difficult times covering these pro Trump rallies, pro takedown of the Islamic regime in Iran rallies by these Iranians here in Los Angeles. Los Angeles has the second largest amount of Iranians in the world. There's over 300,000 in the city alone. And they've been out.
Are they near the Armenians? And I'm not trying to.
No, they're not. Not even close. We're not even close.
Because I know like Patrick Bet David makes a big deal that he's half Iranian, half Armenian, and
that's his thing. They're not physically close. The Armenians have no money, and the Iranians have all the money. The Iranians live in Beverly Hills, and the Armenians live in shitholes in Glendale. Two different economic stratas, two different worlds, basically, in terms of Los Angeles. The power rides on the Iranians, the Persians in West LA and Beverly Hills, and a lot of them are pro-Israel, a lot of them are Jewish, a lot of them are some of them were Democrats who are now switching over to Trump. It's not a monolith, and apparently they are not going to go back. They are going for Trump. He may have picked up one entire ethnic voting bloc in one political activity,
which is crazy. I heard that some Iranians were actually singing the Israeli national anthem.
Oh, yeah, no, there's an overlap.
It's weird.
The Persian Jews who are not Israeli, who are Persian Iranian Jews who fled when the Shah was toppled in '79. That's the original wave of Beverly Hills Iranians who came here. But they have built on this since the 70s and have built an entire society in Beverly Hills and the surrounding areas. This is the third day of celebrations with planes flying overhead, with banners. Thank you, President Trump. They unfurled a flag that was like, 15,000 feet long along Wilshire Boulevard. I mean, the local news is having a difficult time covering this because across the street were 15 protesters saying it was a mixed response. It's 100,000 people, and there are the 15 anti-Trump people standing on the corner. So, of course, they had to say it was a split response. I mean, but they're still having an immense difficulty, Eric.
They can find a story. They can find the 15 anti-Trump people.
They interviewed them. No,
that's what I'm saying. Wait, where are they? Oh, they found them. There you go. So they're passing
out cookies. I mean, this is such a celebration here on day 3 that they're desperately trying not to cover it because it doesn't fit any narrative they have. That's why they probably wanted to pull the plug on that guy in Austin.
Oh, I'm sure. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody in the country is necessarily happy or taking it well. We already have seen that we have had our first potential terrorist hit, which, by the way, I like how they say maybe.
Yeah.
It's like, what does he have to do?
I don't know.
There's a certain point where you're kind of going, well, if they are screaming Allah Akbar, or if they're saying property of, Allah, and they're wearing everything, it's like, are you going to believe them at some point?
Well, like I said in that Reuters article, don't trust Reuters, people. Believe me, Reuters is one of the far left Marxist news outlets still going today. Reuters is really, really dark. They put in I think in the 12th paragraph of the story I sent to Eric that he was wearing the property of Allah shirt and didn't even mention the Quran. They didn't mention that he had an Iranian shrine at home. They didn't mention that he had pictures of Khomeini at home. None of that is in the article. What is mentioned is in like the 13th paragraph that he was wearing that shirt and that he was mentally ill. That they always seem to know from an imaginary private psychiatrist on another planet quickly that someone is mentally ill. If I went out and did some crazy thing right now, just think, anybody, how would they know if you were mentally ill? Would they call up your imaginary or your doctor that they find literally overnight and go, by the way, we know that you treated Mr. Groubert many years ago. Was he mentally ill? And the guy goes, yeah, he was mentally ill. Thank you. How is that possible for a journalist overnight to get that information? It's not. They make it up.
Well, can I point out an irony to
Yeah.
all of this? Because I do love those double standards or ironies. Every time there is a mass shooting, there's two narratives going around. Well, the left narrative, which would include most of the mainstream press, is look at all these guns. The right-wing narrative quite often is, have we been looking at mental health? So I find it very striking that in this particular case, suddenly, it's kind of like the Alex Preddy thing, like they are very in favor of the Second Amendment.
Oh, right.
When it worked for their narrative. Here, they're very concerned about mental health. But it was a school shooting, a mass shooting, which would be horrible and everything. They don't ever want to talk about mental health then. There's nothing to see. There's no mental health problems whatsoever. The guns, jumped off the shelves and leapt in and just shot up the room by themselves.
The real shocking story here is the DA in Austin going after the three cops. I thought this was a made up story, Eric. What planet is this possible? These three hero cops who end the guy while he's shooting up the everybody in the bar are now going to be indicted by a district attorney, a George Soros DA in Austin, who's already gone after 20 previous cops in Austin. I please tell me this is made up. I just find this hard to believe.
Does not appear this way. We got this Doug O'Connell, who is an attorney, special forces, and the Austin Police Association. So the cops union, it sounds like, has asked my team to represent the three heroes that took down the terrorist killer who attacked our community. Unfortunately, they will face a grand jury hearing.
God. Oh, dear
as
God.
is the process directed to the Travis County DA by the Ring Collective.
What's the Ren Collective? The Communist Collective?
I don't know. I don't know the politics in Texas. Somebody has to fill me in there. But Austin is San Francisco of Texas, from what
I get it, but this is saving everybody's lives. What are these guys supposed to do? They saved all the rest of the people in the bar, for Christ's sakes.
I agree. I agree. I mean, it's truly bonkers, but that's not the only place. Paging was it Danny? I forgot his last name. Daniel Perry. The one who, held somebody who was a maniac on the train, and it's like, oh wait, we're going to prosecute him.
No, but that's not even close to this, Eric. That's a guy and a civilian, two civilians. This is three officers responding to a mass shooting and ending it. That's like apples and oranges. I've never seen anything like this in my life. What is the Ren Collective? Let's see what this thing is, because I'm curious. Ren Collective.
And everybody, I see a comment from somebody about my mic. Does my sound seem okay?
Seems okay to me.
Yeah, Mark thought it was good, so I'm not sure what's going on. I have
the Ren. Just for people at home, the Ren Collective is an extreme left-leaning criminal organization, reform organization focused on reducing mass incarceration, reforming public safety approaches, and addressing what it sees as the misuse of weaponization, particularly against marginalized. Founded in 2020 by Jessica Brand, an Austin public defender, primarily as a project of the California-based nonprofit Social and Environmental Entrepreneurs, Eric. The group works with elected officials, especially progressive district attorneys, communication strategy and research on topics like indigent defense, police reform, decreasing carceral systems footprint, blah, 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 blah. This is the guy that is, the DA is beholden to this group, is what I thought. When it says collective, that's a communist organization. They want to change their name. Collective is a dead giveaway.
Well, that's true, but why would they change their name? So it sounds like just a leftist think tank, and a typical. I can't even remember. There's a few of them who do their surveys and studies and blah, 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 blah. It's funny, though, how they're very concerned about prosecuting cops, but at the same time, making sure that criminals don't spend too long in prison. it's such a
It's part of the Marxist. It's part of the Marxist, Maoist Red Guard. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we now have this exposed to everybody who wants to learn more about this. I highly recommend a book named Mao's America. Mao's America. This book is about by Z Van Fleet, who was a survivor of China, who came here 30 years ago. She survived the Red Guard in China and was in the middle of it during the 60s. She was right in the middle of this whole thing, eventually became an American citizen, moved to Kentucky, worked in various colleges, and ended up in Loudoun County, Virginia, where she was one of the first to attend the controversial parent school board meetings and was denounced at that school board meeting. She was one of the first to ever get up on the mic. She was then urged by various people like Glenn Beck and others to write a book about her experience. And I recommend this book to everyone. You need to learn the comparisons between the current social justice warriors and Mao's Red Guard. They are absolutely, every single thing lines up. The names of the organizations, every part of it is so similar. And she compares it throughout the book of the Red Guard and today's Antifa and student justice warriors. Just absolutely riveting. I can't put it down. I highly recommend it to everyone in this audience. She's an American hero. And she just couldn't take it anymore. She's in her 60s. Obviously, she was denied the ability to speak at certain schools like Ben Shapiro and others at Berkeley. So she wrote this book, and it is riveting what she went through and how these groups today use the same language, initials, everything, as did the Red Guard during the Cultural Revolution under Mao. Wow. Wow.
Well, that makes sense, and I can't never remember the name, but it's Palo something. A lot of the guy who wrote like all of modern education and the principles, he took it straight from Mao, so it does make a certain amount of sense. I know people they curse about it, but James Lindsay spends a lot of time talking about the guy and others, so that makes perfect sense, because they did literally go to Mao's Little Red Book and say, oh, the whole idea of political correctness, Mao, all of that.
They're not Marxists, they're Maoists. That's what I've been trying to say for a while. They're not Leninist, they're not, adherent to Soviet ideology. It is Maoist ideology. And that goes back all the way to the Black community. This thing, and that's why BLM is a Maoist organization. This goes back to the Black Panthers selling little red books in the community to raise money. This goes back to Huey Newton. This goes back to Angela Davis. They are not communists. This I don't know who that is, but
Paulo Freire. I couldn't remember the guy who took it all from Mao.
But these people are Maoist, and you have to look at Mao if you want an explanation as to what is going on today and what we should fear. Be very afraid, because the Soviets were like fat guys at a picnic, drinking vodka, compared to these ideologically brainwashed maniacs out of the Manchurian Candidate. It's two different worlds, my friends.
Well, in terms of the amount of deaths in the 20th century, Mao is number one with a bullet. I mean,
I'm just saying that they're two different things. I mean, the Soviets didn't do what Mao did. I don't want to talk about broad generalizations, because we can go off the rails. But the reality of it is the brainwashing and everything internally that Mao did, forming this youth brigade, is exactly the same thing that is happening on the American campuses. The Soviets never had this. This is a distinctly Maoist phenomenon that's being copied here. That's why we can't take our eyes off the prize in terms of studying what the Mao people did and the Chinese are doing now. Our enemy, they'd like us to believe that it's Putin and the former Soviet Union. It is not. It is a combination of Marxists with Islamicists. And the situation that we're in now with this red and green combination of Mandami, who is a Marxist and an Islamicist in one body, is explained by his existence in New York. As Eric and others pointed out, I was watching a movie last night. No, it was an episode of Curb, and Larry David was in New York, and it was Michael J. Fox, and it was just this funny thing. And Michael Bloomberg was the mayor, and Bloomberg comes up and speaks on this podium. And they've gone from Michael Bloomberg to Mandami since 9/11. I mean, it's just a staggering amount of political movement and progress that they've made. That's why this situation in Iran is so important, because we are on, and I know a lot of people are afraid. I know a lot of people are ostriches. They don't want to confront this. But whether you like it or not, we are on a collision course with Muslims, with Islamicists, with radical Hamas, whatever you want to call it. They're not going to stop. Either we confront it now and get it over with and get it on, or wait till they have us completely surrounded, have ballistic missiles with atomic weapons. I know it sounds harsh. I know you're scared. I know you'd rather not get involved. I know you live in Iowa and you don't want it. You don't think there's anything to it. They said the same thing with the Third Reich in 1935. They had an American First movement there led by Charles Lindbergh. They are not going to stop. The Nazis were not going to stop until we fucking stopped them. That's what these cats are. You can placate them. If the Democrats get back in power, they'll have nuclear weapons and money by the time the inauguration happens. Everyone knows this. Trump did the right thing trying to put an end to this thing, and we got to rally around this and get it over with within 30 days, which is the War Powers Act, as Eric knows, and I know that you got 30 days under the 1973 War Powers Act. Despite Democrats yelling that this is illegal, the president has 30 days before he has to get congressional approval. They have now taken those talking points and gone on every television show denying the existence of the War Powers Act, which they created themselves, that you have 30 days before you have to go to Congress to get permission from Congress. No war since World War II has ever gotten permission from Congress. People, you know that, Eric, but a lot of people don't know that. Every single military operation in the history of the United States has not had congressional approval for an act of war other than World War II. Yet Trump is now being cited as being an illegal war because he did it. They're lying. They know they're lying. They're extremely disloyal to the soldiers that have died in battle and in valor. These cocksuckers we can't be distracted by them. We have to finish this mission. It has nothing to do with Israel. We are faced with an Islamic war with these people, whether it's a week from now or 5 years from now. They are coming. They have taken over Western Europe, and they're coming for us. You want to sit there in Des Moines, Iowa, with your head in a basement in a bomb shelter. Good luck. I'm not one of those people. You have to look at this like it's the Third Reich, people. The Third Reich did not stay in Germany. They were in France within 5 minutes. That's who these people are. And the fact that Starmer, the British, would not let us use his airbase is one of the most outrageous political stunts I've ever seen in my entire life. His fear of these Muslims in the UK is absolutely fucking outrageous. And Trump called him out on it today. He called out the guy from Spain, but he also went after Starmer for not letting us use the British air bases. This is a new low because everybody says, well, the British, they're our special friends. It's the Israelis who really are using us. Fuck the British. I've said this 5,000 times. MI6 is 1,000,000 times worse than Mossad. They're the ones who manipulate everything. They're the ones that got us into this mess with Russia and Ukraine. This is their doing, their meddling. And the fact that they didn't let us use their airbase, oh my God. I mean, Churchill must be spinning in his grave, Eric. Spinning in his grave.
Two things, and the chat was pointing it out, and I think War Powers Act, actually, it appears to be 60 days.
Oh, that's even better.
And he can have a 30-day extension.
Oh, no, right. 30-day on top of that, right. Absolutely.
So that's the confusion.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, absolutely. But the point of the matter is an illegal war. I mean, they are so desperate to turn against us. I mean, they won't even support or cheer the fact that this Khomeini is dead and they've taken out their regime. I mean, for the love of God, have some decency. Have some decency.
Keep in mind, and this is my theory, I think that's by design. the elegance of the War Powers Act, you're seeing it play out because Congress abdicated their responsibility. They didn't want to have to make the decision.
Yeah.
So they came up with the act to give it to the president. But now they can play this game, which they're doing as we speak, saying, oh, he should have gone to us. He should, because they don't actually have to take responsibility. So they can blame when it's convenient.
They would have leaked his secret plans in 5 seconds. He went to them. He went to the Gang of Eight. He went to congressional oversight people. They would have leaked his plans. That, they were saying today on Halpern, the woman who's a Democrat on Halpern, well, he should have built this up over a period of months, gone on shows and talked about it. Really? You think the Iranians wouldn't have prepared for that? He was trying to negotiate with these phony bastards, and he realized finally that they were pulling his chain. He gave them every square inch of fabric to get themselves out of this thing. They are a suicidal death cult, not unlike the Third Reich.
All right, somebody knock out Ray the Mod, please. And what is it? We got somebody in the chat trying to get us kicked.
Anyway, the point of the matter is, this thing is like a 30-day, 5-week operation. I hate to even use the word war. I mean, this, regime toppling and all this stuff about boots on the ground. Stop it already. Stop it. For the love of God, stop it. I mean, this guy is the most anti-boots on the ground president we've ever had. I mean, they just keep thinking that they're going to influence him. And as he said today, he's not influenced by Megyn Kelly. He's not influenced by Tucker Carlson. He said this. He finally spoke out, Eric, and said he's not influenced by either one of these or these other phony MAGA podcasters who are looking for clickbait. I mean, the idea is so preposterous and with such hubris that a guy with a podcast is going to influence world policy and foreign policy of the Trump administration and the United States Pentagon. It's a little much, Eric. It's a little much.
Oh, he's not alone. But that's what I find. Okay, let's play this out a little bit, because the argument is that that Trump is nothing more than a puppet to Netanyahu, right? So you see, Trump is brilliant and he could think on his own as long as Trump agreed with whatever they said or they wanted. If they're in agreement, then Trump has his own capacity, his own faculties, and can think for himself. So good old
unless
Trump.
they disagree.
But if they don't agree, well, then in order to maintain the fact they may like him or lie about like him, oh no, he has his mind. It was taken from him. He doesn't have his own abilities, his own faculties. Somebody
they don't explain how that happens, though. They don't explain the physics behind that. Like, what is the secret hypnosis of these people that works on Trump? They never get into the weeds of what that is. Is it a mind control program?
Yeah, I have no idea, and I'm just kind of thinking that. Have you ever really listened to Trump? I mean, the worst thing Netanyahu could ever do is demand something from Trump. He would get shut down and kicked out of the building.
Eric, they've been showing clips of Trump from the 80s saying the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
From the 80s. I mean, well, by then, back in those days, they sent him back into a time machine into the 80s saying the Iranian regime has got to go in 1986.
Well, who was control? There's also, hold on, there's also 2024, because they're saying he lied.
Yeah.
And Trump did say, quote unquote, I will bomb the shit out of them. Yeah. I believe it was in 2024 when he was running for president, his current run.
Again, I don't even want to spend that much time on this, because that amplifies their thing and makes them seem much more have more gravitas than they deserve to have. Even Trump, swatted them away like he really didn't want to discuss it. Saying I'm just done. I have bigger fish to fry than talk about 2 or 3 podcasters. It's just
I'm
crazy.
glad that somebody did ask him to write, and that was actually Jade, the third part, the one who's with Dan and Sean Spicer now.
Okay.
She called him up and asked him that.
So wow,
good
that's
work
cool.
on her part.
Touche. That was great. Yeah. Now I'm also hearing that he castigated some of his people for Tucker showing up with alcohol on his breath. Did you see that tweet?
I missed that one.
No, I sent it to you. Tucker was told. No, I sent you. Okay. I'm saying Trump castigated for him showing up with alcohol on his breath to his office. I don't know if it's true or not, but it was in the body of the tweet.
Okay, I missed out. I'll have to take it off.
Yeah,
But,
take a look.
I
highlighted
Trump-
it and then I cut it out and I cut and pasted it also to get you. I pulled it out of the tweet so you could see it.
Okay. I'll have to find it because I don't remember and I don't see it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. And I would say that I'm going to trust that Trump would sense alcohol on somebody's breath, considering his brother died of alcoholism.
Yeah.
So there's a sensitivity.
His
there.
father too was an alcoholic, so I think he had it from both ends by most accounts. But I got a feeling that it's unverified, but that makes sense. That makes some sense.
Well, now everybody will say, "There goes Mark again." He's saying, "Tucker's
you.
got to be a drunk.
Fuck
Got to be a drunk. Got to
you.
be.
Fuck you.
Got to be an addict."
I didn't say it. It wasn't from me.
Oh God.
Dude, if you're coming to visit the president and you're smelling of alcohol in your breath, that's not a good look. That is not a good look.
I mean, if you smell champagne after a victory game,
Oh, yeah, of
probably
course.
okay. But
Yeah.
in the middle of the day, at his office,
that's not
definitely
good.
teetotaler.
That's not good. Especially when he's denouncing you in the same day, in the same tweet. Well, I think he probably said it off the record. Was what I gather, and somebody put that into the tweet.
It could be.
It might have been an off the record statement because it was kind of vague.
Okay.
I mean, it was bold enough to be real, but vague enough to be off the record.
Fair enough. I mean, he has been extraordinarily indulgent. Of that. Anyway, all right. Well, speaking of different stories, I'm kind of concerned about.
Well, I just want to mention the trade embargo against Spain while we're still on the Iranian thing, because the Spain wouldn't let us use their air bases either. And some reason he's giving UK a pass on a trade embargo. I would like him to use the trade embargo stick against the UK for various civil rights issues, as well as the stabbing us in the back on the military issues like he's doing with Spain. He has ordered an economic embargo of Spain. I've been talking about this to save the people of the UK for over a year now, or 6 months. And Trump said today that he was giving the UK a pass because they rescinded it after a number of hours and made him agree to use the planes only for defensive reasons. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, really, bro. I mean, this guy, Starmer, is a piece of work, but I wish he would use the economic club to help save the people of the UK.
He might.
I know.
Probably a good idea to not do it at this moment, though. Finish off this current little.
He's going after Spain.
Iran.
He's going after Spain right now.
Yeah, but who gives a shit what Spain's doing? I'm just saying.
Well, it's a NATO member, Eric. If NATO members are not going to allow you to use air bases, what the fuck is NATO all about then?
Well, I'd shut down NATO. I've been saying.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
by the way, the only polling that I trust is this group Trafalgar, and they came out with a poll today. 1,084 likely voters. Apparently, Trump has a 51% approval rating and a 48% disapproval rating for Trafalgar, which is the only polling organization I trust. So that was
that was after the technically it was the poll was done between the 24th and 26th of February. So it's a little bit of a lag in there.
Right. I think it probably went higher.
I don't know. It might have.
Well, it's not going in the other direction. I'll tell you that much. Also, there was just to talk about numbers. Trafalgar is a good place to look for polls, by the way, people.
Oh, sure. That's solid.
Trafalgar has been very solid, very, very solid.
Yeah, Trafalgar and is it Apollo? Like an A1?
Oh, I don't know. Trafalgar, I know, and it's a couple of others, but I've really found really continuity from Trafalgar over the past couple of years. Anyway, I just wanted to say that about fucking Spain and how they're attempting to import these votes. And they're all using the model that Mike Benz is saying of importing illegals, moving them into citizenship and having them vote for the people in power. Spain being quite dramatic about it very recently, and now to turn against the United States. It's a war. It's a war. We're in a cold war with the EU. That's where we are. They've been taken over by Islamicists. They've been taken over by Muslims. They are the new Soviet Union. That's who we're in a cold war. China seems to be held at bay because they want oil. They're not going to get oil out of Venezuela, and they're not going to get oil out of Iran now.
No,
which is
a real
an
bomb.
amazingly double stroke benefit. And I think that what's going to happen in Cuba, if I could predict this, is an economic blockade that is going to be effective. The Soviets, the former Soviet Union, is not going to be able to send oil tankers into Havana like they did in 1961. And I believe that he's going to bring this corrupt administration to its knees without firing a shot.
Well, there's other good news too.
Yeah.
China's getting boxed on that end, but also because one of our concerns has been Taiwan, trying to keep Taiwan from being attacked. But now it appears that even if Taiwan was taken over, we have moved enough beyond it and have the capacity for the micro processors or whatever. So the incentive of China to even take them over has gone way down. So,
well, don't forget, they've left
China's
the Panama Canal now, Eric. They've withdrawn from the Panama Treaty. The Chinese, they're gone.
Well, yeah.
Out of the Panama Canal. I mean, he's trying to get them out of the Western Hemisphere. He's trying to invoke the Monroe Doctrine, country by country by country. He's not going to ignore Cuba. He's not going to ignore Venezuela. He wants to drive these Chinese out of our hemisphere. I am shocked at how aggressive and how successful he's been so far.
He's the only one actually doing it. I mean, that's the weird part of it. And it's funny even hearing Mark Halperin talk about how, he's covered all these presidents. He's never seen anything like it.
I've never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. I mean, just the foreign policy alone is just absolutely unbelievable. By the way, before we close out on the UK, I just want to help these people as much as I can who are conservatives. After seeing Tommy Robinson with Dave Rubin, I recommend this interview.
He's here. I
week.
recommend he stays here.
I recommend he stays here, but also I recommend that the audience sees the interview with Tommy Robinson on Dave Rubin this week. It'll explain the UK because we're not getting the information that's necessary because they've made it a crime to be involved in social media, which is very effective for them. But Tommy Robinson is our canary in the coal mine, and who knows how long his days are. He was talking about the grooming gangs and everything else on there, but he makes it extremely clear as to what his road has been, how he's been jailed, how he's been imprisoned, how others have been imprisoned, how grandmothers have been taken down. It's like a January 6th situation on steroids over there, folks. And Trump needs to bring them to their knees with an economic embargo to save them from this fascist regime. I can't put it in any other word. They have now had, the Green Party is now rising over there very quickly. And this woman who won the Green Party election did it through Muslim voting fraud. They have a law against family voting there. And I said, what the fuck is family voting? Apparently, these Muslims take their entire families into the voting booth to show them how to vote and who to vote for. So like 8 people go into the voting booth together. So they had to make a law against this. And apparently, they're not enforcing the law. So these Muslim families are going in and voting together as a group, as crazy as this sounds. And that's how this Green Party woman won the election this past week in the UK. So I just wanted to give a shout out to our UK friends. We haven't forgotten you over there. And they've been very supportive of this channel since day one, unlike other Americans who have not been.
Yeah, we have a lot of UK who are very, very supportive, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, we do appreciate it.
We would love to trade, like for every Rosie O'Donnell, we'll take somebody over here. I'd like to have an exchange program like that. We can just flush out all of our kind of our own Mariana boat lift but just with lame people. Just put them all in a boat and say, here you go. Here's Ellen DeGeneres. Here's Rosie O'Donnell. Come on back.
Well,
here,
you notice they're all sneaking
come
back
here.
in, Eric. all of the people who fled realized they couldn't get their
I know
In-N-Out
that, I know.
burger, they couldn't get their Slurpee, whatever their shit was, they couldn't get it, and they just couldn't take it anymore. They cracked under the pressure.
That's what I'm saying. Lock the door and say, sorry, we've already brought somebody in for you. You're accounted for. Please go away. And by the way, one thing I think is interesting about England or Britain and the others, though, is they changed their mind after Trump succeeded. And all of a sudden, Khomeini, or however people are saying it, I'm hearing like 10. I always
Who
heard it was
cares?
Khomeini, but
Who
there's
cares?
20
Who cares?
pronunciations.
Right. Who gives a shit?
After it was deemed he was dead, suddenly the British were okay with it. And then all this support for the Middle East is like, hey, we're okay with this. Hey,
Yeah.
this isn't a bad deal. It was like, and to be fair, I was surprised that he was taken out and so many were taken out on day one. And then today,
Did you see
the
what
latest-
Mossad? Did you see what the Mossad did?
well,
How they
hacked
infiltrated
in
they infiltrated the dentists and doctors and implanted tracking devices, not only in the teeth of the royal family, but in the body parts of some of the top generals. This story is.
I thought that was an urban legend. I know they hacked the track.
Oh, no,
cameras and
bro.
stuff, but-
No. This is going to go down as the beeper, Mossad beeper explosion story of all time. This thing was taken years in the making, and that obviously Iranian doctors who were working. They were not Israeli doctors or Israeli dentists. These were Iranian doctors and dentists who they had flipped, who had implanted a tracking device in the teeth of not Khomeini but his wife and certain generals who had physical operations. They implanted tracking devices in their bodies. And then that's how they were able to take them all out on that morning 2 days ago. This is going to go down with the beeper story, the explosive beepers, explosive phones that the Mossad actually sent to them. This thing took years to pull off the medical thing.
Yeah, I haven't confirmed that one. I do know that they had hacked all the traffic cams throughout the entire area.
I
mean,
Yeah.
that's important because they followed every
Oh,
pattern.
you're talking
Where
about
does
a group
everybody
that
park?
sent
Who's
them
here?
that sent
What?
them explosive phones that killed them all the last time.
Well, the pagers. Yeah.
The explosive pagers and phones, Eric. I mean,
Yes.
they set up a company just to make those phones. They created a
I know
company
about
out
that,
of-
but I'm talking about this specific
Yeah,
incident
yeah.
that I know about the traffic cams. And then they released it today, this information, which is going to make them super paranoid, which of course is going to be what you want, because then they'll start attacking each other because they're already in a disarray.
I predict the medical implant story will be brought out more details after the dust settles on this war. They're going to get into some of the details and how they pulled that off. But nevertheless, at this point, we don't have all the details on the medical implant story. But we do have some.
Well, I had one
Go ahead.
more.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What was shocking was not only they took out Khomeini and they took out, what was it, over 45 like a day ago, but they were meeting to select another supreme leader, and they bombed that location today.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if they survived it or not. I don't have the details on that, but I'm like,
well, I'm going to say again, I believe that Pahlavi will be the next leader. I've said this for a while, of Iran. That's the son of the Shah. He's been in waiting for a while. He's been groomed for this for a number of years. He's in, I assume, in the United States. He's been on TV recently, and he's been on TV for the past couple of years. Pahlavi is willing to do this, and I think he will be put into power, and then eventually there'll be elections, and he will remain a figurehead. But Pahlavi, the son of the Shah, will be the next leader of Iran.
well, he's claiming that he wants to be an interim.
Yeah.
figure.
Yeah.
So
Until the
I'm saying
elections,
that is
right.
what he is claiming.
No,
And,
I
you know,
agree. Until there's elections, absolutely.
And there are some who want, I don't know if that's the case, but instead of the supreme leader having a monarchy, kind of like the English monarchy, who's a little bit more toothless.
Well,
Versus
he's part of
religious
the
side
monarchy, right?
That's what I'm saying. And so there
Yeah,
are some
yeah.
people who are very much into the idea of his being a quasi figurehead, but kind of a monarchy type figure.
Yeah,
and then
it'll
there'll
be
another
part of the
government.
transitional government to an electoral government, but he will be the transitional figure, I predict. That being said, there's a bill on the floor of the House to begin to use blue dye water cannons, Eric, for the first time, with a bill
the
on the
Japanese?
floor. Not like the Japanese. There's 12 countries, all Western countries, that use it for over 25 years, including the British, Belgium, Netherlands, Hungary, Israel, all use the blue dye water cannons except for us. So they're put legislation on the floor of the House to make this an actual bill to be able to use these anti-protest devices as a non-lethal, non-bullets, non-beanbag, non-everything, but you'd be covered in blue dye, Eric.
Can I push just a little and say not
Who's going to stop you?
Not anti-protest, but anti-riot?
Anti-riot, right.
Because we're cool with protests. It's the riot that's the problem.
It's just a generic term, Eric. I'm not going to get into the weeds of defining the protest. They would use it for, again, I don't go also.
I'm
just saying I'm anti-protest. I think people know what I mean. But all I'm saying is these other countries have used it for 25 years. So, I mean, it's not like some incredible Soviet draconian mind control thing. The dye stays on you for a couple of days, and then you're able to be picked up by the police, which is a side benefit to the water cannon, which is a separate device. When you add the dye into the water cannon, it allows you to pick up the people who are rioting.
Not only that, even if you're not picking them up, you can see them coming a mile away. We're like,
yeah.
Oh, he might be trouble.
Also, if you're 15 and you come home covered with blue, your parents are going to know what happened.
Well, and hopefully they'll act like parents at that point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where were you today?
Yeah. I mean, that would be nice.
Unless you're making believe you're in the traveling roadshow of the Blue Man Group.
Then you have an actual job, and you're doing very well for yourself. So good on you. Good on you. By the way, one thing I want to do, because I said something last Friday, and I do want to put, when I screw up or I make an error, I definitely want to put it out there. I had stated that Stephen Miller was put on the map as a lawyer in the Duke lacrosse situation. That was incorrect. He was involved in Duke lacrosse, but he was a student at
weird.
Duke at the time.
Right. That's right.
And he was a columnist at the paper. And so he was involved, but he was not a lawyer involved. And that was a major blunder on my part. And I just wanted to.
I was wondering what you were talking about.
Put that out.
But I don't know if you saw the Supreme Court ruling against Bonta, the Attorney General, yesterday by the Supreme Court, a 6-3 ruling overturning a lower court ruling that was preventing schools from telling the parents that their kids had transitioned. I don't want this to get lost in the fog of war, because this was a huge dagger into the heart of Gavin Newsom's trans policies here in California and nationally. They had gone to court and successfully navigated the courts of California, allowing the schools to take your children and keep it secret that they had transitioned to another gender and not tell the parents about this. The Supreme Court voted, I think it's 6-3, if I read that correctly, against Rob Bonta. It was court versus Bonta, the Attorney General of California. But really a dagger into the heart of the trans movement at this point, a legal dagger, that is, a very good one.
Well, it's very good, because, I mean, if everything you're doing is so righteous and so perfect, why do you got to hide it?
Because they believe the state, like the Maoists, they believe the state owns your children. They're not hiding. They don't look at it as hiding. They believe that the state has the power over your children, and they pass legislation to remove your children. This goes deeper and deeper, to take your children away from you if you don't agree to have their gender transition to another gender. This is about control. It's not about transitions. It's not about transgender. It's about state control of your children and destruction of the family, which is a Marxist tenet to destroy the nuclear family of the West. So this ruling by the Supreme Court is extremely important yesterday.
I agree. I agree. Now there was another ruling that came out today, though, and this is troubling. It's the second time this has happened that I know of. You remember the father who had given his son a gun, and the son went on a school shooting?
You'd have to be more specific about the actual thing.
Oh, it's in Georgia. In
okay.
Georgia, the father. Let me see.
I don't know that.
Let me go and just play the.
No, there was a couple of these, right?
Well, there was the one in Michigan with the both.
Right, it was a Michigan.
In the last hour or so, the father of an alleged school shooter has been found guilty of second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. Colin Gray's son, Colt Gray, is accused of opening fire at Appalachia High School in 2024, killing 2 students and 2 teachers and injuring 9 others. His father was accused of providing his teenage son access to that firearm used to carry out the shooting. Well, this marks the second school shooting now where a parent has been held criminally responsible for their child's actions. You may remember in 2024, James and Jennifer Crumbley were both found guilty of involuntary manslaughter for a mass shooting committed by their son, Ethan, at Oxford High School. That was in Michigan. Let's bring in NBC's Aaron Gilchrist. He has been watching this verdict unfold. Aaron, tell us more.
Anyway, the kid's name is Colt, and his father.
Colt 45.
There you go. Anyway, his father was just convicted of secondary murder.
Together, really,
I have
it's got to go to the Supreme Court, Eric. You're right. I mean, this is a SCOTUS thing. It's got to be resolved. You can't just start throwing these parents in prison for actions of not providing. She used the word provided. The second word she used was access. So this is an NBC Marxist dialectic. They provided, she emphasized the word provided, access. In other words, the gun could have been in the house. I don't know the exact details, but in theory, a gun could have been in the house. The kid took the gun, went and did an act. They're claiming the parents provided access. In other words, they're actively involved in giving him the gun.
Well, even if he did.
I know. Right, I agree.
Even if he said, "Hey, Merry Christmas, son."
Right, no, I agree. I agree.
Which is a tradition in America. It's been around a long time.
Right.
I owned guns as a kid. I mean, thank God I didn't do something. My dad would be locked up, obviously.
Yeah.
But parents give their kids cars too, and if the kid goes and runs down people in the car, I mean, do we go ahead and prosecute the parent because of that too? Because they're obviously irresponsible. They provided access.
Absolutely.
To that car, and
it's not constitutional. It will be overturned. They will have a day when this case hopefully will get up to SCOTUS and this will be dealt with. It's not logical. It's not constitutional. You could make the argument that Eric just made, that he killed somebody with a car that they gave him for their birthday, even if they intentionally ran their girlfriend over. It's still something that the parents can't be charged with.
Now, if you could prove that the father said, "Son, when you go to school today,
come on,
take this with you," then 100%. No, then okay, no problem.
Right. But it's never happened. That's never happened, bro. That's never happened.
I know that, but I'm trying to.
But what did happen is Senator Sanders today targeting 938 Americans for a special $4.4 trillion wealth tax. I'm not sure what a wealth tax is. It's a tax where they put the word wealth in front of it. I don't know how the Supreme Court is going to allow 938. They gave you the exact number of people they are targeting in the United States, American citizens, that they will hit with this $4.4 trillion tax simply because they have X amount more money than the guy below them. This is so inexplicably insane that this could ever pass. It'll never happen.
Well, it better not freaking pass, because if you pass this shit in a Republican-run Congress, then we are way.
He's copying the Newsom billionaires tax here that they're putting on the ballot. They're putting this on the ballot in November. And Bernie Sanders was just here at the Wiltern Theater.
There, in California.
He was here at the Wiltern Theater yelling and screaming last week, a full house of people. I guess they let him in for free or something, that we have to do this to these billionaires, and they want to get it on the ballot and passed here. And that's why the billionaires are fleeing. So now he wants they
want a national, because
a national bill, so there's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to hide, because these are like Jews and being sought by the Third Reich at this point. We've got to get them before they escape. These 900 and repeat. It's the fact. Oh, it says it. 938 individuals who apparently have no American civil rights and no rights at all. They have to have their money removed because they've been so successful.
Hold on, it goes even further, and promises $3,000 pay amounts to family. So this is redistribution of wealth 101.
101.
And number two, and here's the other issue I have. Have you ever noticed, Bernie, Rokana, you're spending so much energy watching people's wallets. Why don't you go out and earn some money yourself?
Well, not only that, Bernie Sanders, by anybody's measurement, is worth between $2 to $2.5 million. He's that's what's reported. I don't know if he's worth more than that or not worth more than that, but he's a multi-millionaire. When I say multi, it's more than 1 million. Could be 2 to 3 to 4 million.
Well, that's why he says billionaires now. He used to say millionaires and billionaires.
Of course. How about you, in the spirit of cooperation, in the spirit of getting along, peel off about 20 of those out of your nest egg, $3,000. Let's take about 20 of those and peel them out to people under 150K, bro. That would be, at least that would show some courage of your convictions.
Well, that's like all these twits in the universities and whatever who talk about how the minorities are being held back and people are held back. And I'm going, hey, why don't you quit your job then? Why don't you quit? Because you're standing in the way of a proper minority figure who could take your job. And they never seem to do that. They always are very protective of their position because they're doing their part, mouthing off and purchasing.
Well, there's two people who are looking for work who work at Smoothie King now, who refuse to give a smoothie, refuse to serve a smoothie to just two Americans who happen to be wearing a sweatshirt with the president's name on it of the United States of America. Now, because you're wearing a sweatshirt with the president's name, you are not allowed to be served because of the civil rights of yourself for reasons that I have no idea. This is the guy wearing a Trump hoodie in the video. Both of them have been fired by Smoothie King now.
Well, it goes deeper. But here's the Smoothie King statement. So we can see, as a brand, Smoothie King is committed to ensuring our stores are a place free of discrimination, et cetera, et cetera. So good job on Smoothie King. They did that.
Right on, Smoothie.
We also have, do I have I had her making a statement, which is hilarious.
Oh, the manager?
You have a great day.
No, the one who was refusing service. And she was like, well, I didn't do, what have you, but it goes further because there's a franchise owner. Here she is.
Hi, it's Janai Michelle.
Hello.
I'm just going to explain what happened. Smoothie King Ann Arbor. So basically, it was really busy the whole day. It was just me and my other coworker.
Right on.
And basically, this couple comes in the midst of it being like super busy, so we cannot attend to them right away. We're just like, hello, we'll be with you in a moment. And they're just giving us really weird looks. And so like we're kind of looking at them back, like, what's going on? And that's when we realized they're wearing Trump merch. And that's
shit.
Like this is making me uncomfortable. Like this
right on.
Like, because mind you, it was really the day right after Black History Month.
That's right.
And that's when Torta asked us if there was an issue. And that's when my coworker said, like, yeah, we're uncomfortable because of your sweater, of your husband's sweater.
That's right.
And she was taking an order on the headset for the drive.
You got to rehearse your story better.
Yeah. You got. I think she's really reading the teleprompter there. Yeah, she almost had the story like somebody rehearsed her, but it wasn't fully rehearsed. She had the Black History Month, but it made no connection. She gave up on that. It was the day after Black History Month. What this would have to do with any of that? It's like she left out a paragraph of the storyline, right?
And then that's why I was doing most of the talking because she was attending to the customer. So that's what we are uncomfortable. And then that's when he immediately gets loud. As you can see, guys, in my video, and we're just saying we're uncomfortable, blah 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 blah. And then he immediately gets loud like discrimination. You're discriminating against us.
So
now she's making faces. That's kind of nice. Now she's unemployed, but the
Well, she did. Oh, it
uncomfortability.
gets better. She did do a
Okay, go ahead.
GoFundMe, and that got
Oh.
canceled too.
Oh, right on. Wow, this is
No.
great, Eric.
But there was a franchise owner who came out and said, I do the same thing.
Okay.
And he's been blasted everywhere. And now suddenly his social media is
Right
private
on.
and shut down. So he may be losing his Smoothie King franchise. And then it's actually kind of a pile on. I feel bad for the Smoothie King owner because the guy obviously is trying to do the right thing. But now I guess there's a ton of these franchises. They're probably not in great neighborhoods. And
Right. Well, this is Ann Arbor, in a college town that's far left. This is a great upscale neighborhood, by the way. I know this neighborhood, and people from Michigan know where this is. Our friends in Michigan. This is in the belly of the beast. Ann Arbor was the ground zero of leftist bombings in the 60s. Ann Arbor, Michigan, University of Michigan, Ann Arbor is the most radical university in the United States, or was back then.
Oh, nice. Nice. Well, while we're in the leftist bit,
I'm only here for historical purposes. I can't shed any light on contemporary events. I'm just here for historical reference.
no, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on, we've got tampons in the Netflix bathrooms.
You know,
while
I
we're
got to
talking
tell you
about leftist
something.
deal making.
Yeah. I got to tell you something. First of all, you had the Susan Rice video, right? You're trying to get this thing passed. And Susan Rice puts out a video saying there's going to be repercussions. We're going to be payback to Republicans and GOP Trump people once we take power again. Now, she's the former defense national security advisor under Obama. How she's on the board because she was left behind as an Obamaite by the Obamas to keep an eye on this piece of shit right here, who married Nicole Avant, as I said last week. I've dealt with this guy. I've been in a room with this guy. I've talked for hours to this guy. My stories have first person accounts. When I tell you a story, it's because I dealt with the guy. So this douchebag here left his wife and kids to marry Nicole Avant, some hot black chick from West LA, whose father was the partner to Berry Gordy. Her father was the accountant from Motown who ripped off all the black artists. It wasn't a guy named Schwartz. It was her father, partnered with Berry Gordy, who was the guy ripping off artists at Motown, at the record label. Anyway, make a long story short, Sarandos, to make matters worse, was trying to go to Washington to put on a charm offensive at the last minute to salvage this Netflix destruction of the movie theater industry by taking over Warner Brothers. And he went to GOP lawmakers and invited them to come out to here, right by me, on Sunset Boulevard, to Netflix headquarters. And a couple of them took him up on it, Eric. And they went and visited him at Sunset Boulevard, right here on Gower, to visit Netflix headquarters, and had to go to the men's room. Well, in the men's room, before they got in there, was a speech by Ted Sarandos saying, we're no longer this far left organization making DEI documentaries and anti-family stuff. We've seen the error of our ways, and the lawmakers were satisfied. Then they went into the men's room, and there's a giant basket of tampons in the men's room for people to use who are men in the men's room. I found this to be, you couldn't make this up in a million years. Oh, here's Nicole Avant. She was removed from her position as ambassador to the Bahamas by Obama, not because Obama wanted to, it's because the entire staff said either she goes or I go. She was flying in from West LA on the weekends with her posse of friends and partying nonstop in the embassy in the Bahamas as a tourist stop until the embassy staff said, we've had it, we can't take it anymore, and we're going to walk. So her ambassadorship was embarrassingly removed by Barack Obama, quietly under the radar. It wasn't under my radar because I never forgot it. She convinced Ted Sarandos to be the largest bundler of financial donations to Barack Obama's campaign in the United States. That's what she got out of Ted Sarandos. And Ted Sarandos thought he was going to get Warner Brothers as a prize, but surprise, Trump became president of the United States, and that deal and the end of movie theaters as we know it has been stopped by the end of this deal by Warner Brothers, taking over Warner Brothers by the tampon king, Ted Sarandos, not to be confused with Tim Walz, the tampon governor. Just unbelievable. And the lawmakers went back in and said, what are all those tampons doing in the men's room? And he went, habada, 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 habada. He didn't know what to say. He probably hadn't looked in the men's room in months. And there they were.
Well, they were just such a common thing that they,
vision. Don't you have tampons in your men's room? I don't understand. Why is that a problem?
Yeah.
But it couldn't have happened to. And then he went back yesterday and he turned on everyone. He started to badmouth the Trump administration. He tried to badmouth the GOP. They didn't do his charm offensive bidding. And so now he's turned on them because he realizes his takeover is over. And now Paramount is going to merge with HBO, and Paramount's going to own CNN. And the entire toppling effect is going to begin to happen in this anti-cultural revolution of taking back the culture from the Marxist revolutionaries.
Well, I think his days are number 2 himself.
That I don't know.
I think I read that Netflix lost a major chunk of their market share by his maneuvering. So Netflix is a lot weaker than if it had done nothing.
Somebody convinced him that this was a good idea, and he made it an egregious business error in the climate of the Trump administration. That he, if anything, should have waited until they were out of office before he made this move, but he didn't. Now he's got to fall on his sword.
I agree. Hey, I got to share this. Remember, I talked about the face recognition going into Meta Ray-Ban glasses.
Mm-hmm.
There's another Ray-Ban story coming out with Meta glasses.
Go ahead.
And they're sending sensitive videos to human data annotators in Kenya.
Oh, in Kenya?
In Kenya.
Why Kenya?
So this includes labor price, I guess.
Oh,
I don't know.
I see.
But includes, shall we say, sexual acts that are being recorded on the things.
Oh my God!
And also things like debit cards and credit cards that are being.
They're going to sneak up behind you at the ATM, aren't they?
Anyway, so there's a lot going on here.
And every Nigerian is going to be wearing them. Yeah, every Nigerian guy is going to be wearing them.
Yeah, the workers in Kenya say it feels uncomfortable to go to work. They tell us about deeply private video clips which appear to come straight out of Western homes from people who use the glasses in their everyday lives. Some are showing bathroom visits, sex, and other intimate moments.
Because they have the glasses on, you mean? Of
yeah,
themselves.
But you don't have to record it. It's not recording all the time.
But it's you doing it. It's not somebody doing it to you. They're saying you're doing it.
Right. And,
you're doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself.
If you have glasses to the camera, every pervert in the world is going to be
right. But that's a separate issue. What they're implying is these people are recording everything and not on purpose.
No, I think they're on purpose, and then it's getting flagged by the servers, and then they're like, "Oh, we need to go check what this is," and these people in Kenya are going, "Oh shit!" And
oh my God, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
But it is what it is. But
that's terrifying. All right, well, that's a good follow up. The story that Eric and I both like was Eric had an update on it, but the ICE has apparently wised up and has done away with these ICE looking SUVs and replaced them with Subarus because they blend in with the liberals. I mean, this is funniest in Denver. This is the funniest ICE update in months. They have now decided to use Subaru Foresters because it is the car of choice of the liberali. And I'm somebody in this
specific type of liberali.
There's a certain type of people who use the Subaru, and they are now using the Subarus to blend in ICE. I don't know if you have any footage of this or photos of them in a Subaru. There was some video of this online today. They are now operating in liberal areas using the Subaru car as their car of choice, which I just think you want to adapt as an army, don't you, Eric? I mean, as an army on the ground, you want to adapt to your enemy.
Oh, no, I agree. I think they should have a fleet of Prii too. I don't know how you say Priuses in plural, but
Priuses, yeah. I says undercover
Guys, it's
Outback.
an undercover Subaru. I've never seen that. Hey. Undercover Subaru. Guys, it's an undercover Subaru.
That's just brilliant. That's just brilliant.
Hey, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
And that definitely will fit right in.
Well, the big SUV was a dead giveaway, and they would.
Well, it'd be like a bunch of Explorers. That's like kind of the standard thing now.
Yeah,
Explorers.
they got hip to this, and they're going to go with the Prius and the Subaru Outback, or I recommend the Forester for gas mileage.
Oh, exactly. That's true. They can get more efficient mileage. And by the way, they're a damn good vehicle. They're four-wheel drive, and in an area like that, that's why part of why they're so popular.
Yep.
Okay, I got to share this headline, and we've got a bunch of super chats. But this,
go ahead.
This cracked me up. Just read this headline: Holiday holdup. TJ Maxx confirms every single U.S. store is closed for 24 hours in massive shopping blackout.
What does that mean?
Well, it sounds pretty dire, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
holy
yeah.
shit, it's a massive shopping blackout.
What is it called? Sunday? Is that the
Easter?
They're
shutting down for Easter, for God's sake.
Okay. All right.
I'm going, are you kidding me? But yeah,
no, but that could be the headline writer of the Sun being creative.
Being very creative. And
right, because the headline writers and the editorial writers, by the way, are two separate departments at a newspaper, just so people don't.
Oh, yes. I know that.
Not everybody knows that. I've written articles for the paper that have had headlines on it that blew my head off. That I just said, what the fuck is this headline? Had nothing to do with the article I wrote, but it's another department. It's not the same department.
That's clickbait 101, though. Oh, my God. It sounds so dire. It's a massive shopping.
They have to. They I mean, people get paid.
How about they give a shit about their employees and they're giving them the day off? Oh,
right, but the person, by the way, the new journalism, you get paid as a writer by the amount of clicks. So the writer is really not going to be opposed to that because they get paid like a penny, something like a quarter of a penny a click or some shit.
Yeah, but you know what I'm getting so tired of? Because I subscribe to different newsletters and things like that to get stories or make sure we have coverage. And famous fill in the blank died.
I hate
and then
that.
you have to click.
I hate that.
Oh,
how about famous rock star,
star,
and it's the bass player of Quagmire,
or whatever. Even if it is
famous rock star dies, famous rock star, and it's like the second drummer of Boston.
Yeah.
Just like,
but then the next time it really is somebody of value. Right, so you're like, oh Jesus, I have to click the stupid.
How about the one where they go, you'll never recognize the 89-year-old former sitcom star, and it's some 89-year-old woman who starred in the Cosby Show or something, and the poor woman's just going to Ralph's supermarket.
Yeah, or it's Demi Moore with her as Ozempic Chic walking around.
Oh, that's weird. You got to take a look at Kelly Osbourne, bro.
Well, they look the same. I mean,
you got to take a look at Kelly. You can take a look at Kelly.
Well, her jaw's like
that's Skeletor, bro. Skeletor.
Disjointed, and her mom looks rough too. But
well, can we mention this SNL sketch that happened over the weekend that everybody's talking about? The Tourette sketch that has rocked the ableist communities, the disabled. This goes back to the BAFTA awards where. I don't know. We mentioned it last week where one of the Tourette's, the award winner was a Tourette's a victim who blurted out N-word stuff, and we talked about F the Queen when he was getting an award from the Queen, and has that 12%, 18% type of Tourette's that's very verbal and very foul language. SNL did a sketch on this, and they took people like Mel Gibson and Louis C.K. and others and impersonating them, using the same language as the guy who was apologizing for his Tourette's outburst and made this into a comedy, probably driving the guy to self-delete at some point because it's become so embarrassing to the person who did this. The persons who end up doing this say the shame is so bad once you do it. There's a guy on the left here, John Davidson, who they made a documentary about him. SNL thought it was wise to do a high school version of comedy by having these people impersonate famous people who have acted out from being drunk and saying their defense was Tourette's. They've been denounced by every Tourette's organization in the world. I mean, it's just shock. It really is shocking. It really is shocking because supposedly they are a leftist organization that is opposed to ableism. And here they are making fun of a guy who has Tourette's and can't control it. It's just a new law.
Collision. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, it's a collision. Before. It's an intersectionality collision of their social making. But again, this is a new low for SNL.
Well, I mean, I give them credit. Every time you think they can't go lower, they'll.
I know. I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing. There's nothing funny about it. I mean, it's just attacking a guy with Tourette's. It's just like a high school level comedy sketch, not college, not graduate, not improv, not Upright Citizens Brigade, nowhere near the level of SNL. And yet this is what they came up with.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's pathetic. We have a ton of support today. So let me go through some super chats. We got new members. Chris McCord is a new member who I appreciate.
Why, Chris?
Much.
Why? Are you Frank McCord's son, the former owner of the Dodgers? Welcome aboard, Chris. I was always a supporter of your father, by the way. Your mother, no. Jamie McCord, who was going to run for president, had hired Hillary Clinton's chief advisor on the staff of the Dodgers to help her run for president of the United States. She was then caught in a sex scandal with the heir to the Pillsbury Doughboy fortune by me. No, I told you this, right? In a back alley at Dodger Stadium, tongue kissing the Pillsbury Doughboy heir. And that led to the divorce of his parents, Frank McCord and Jamie McCord, and the eventual selling of the Dodgers.
I can't get the Ghostbusters Pillsbury Doughboy out of my mind though. When you talk
about
all that, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking.
No, he was an heir to the Pillsbury fortune. He was a good-looking young guy. She was older. I went to go to the bathroom during the game in between innings, and there's a back alley, a back little runway there. And I see Jamie McCord tongue kissing this guy. And I thought that's a little weird. And nobody had known about it at that time. They didn't know that I was a reporter at the time, but I will later be fired.
And go,
I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Do a little inquire. You could have made some money off of it at least before you got fired.
I had to take a leak. I couldn't wait around.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, from Australia, Anthony has to say, undeniably Trump's fault. James Bundy is a new member. Thank you very much. And then one Warsaw.
This is Ted Bundy's great grandson.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say Al Bundy from
Al
Married
Bundy
with
was
Children.
a fictional character. Ted Bundy was real, and James knows that.
Yeah, but I don't want to associate anybody with Ted
Neither
Bundy.
does he. That's why he's trying to become a member and alter his name.
Ouch. All right. One Warsaw A gifted 5 America's Untold Stories memberships. Thank you very, very much. Dr. Evil. She's a witch. Talking about
we know that, but I mean, you got to bring on heavier artillery. Again, nobody disputes that, Dr. Evil. But I'm just saying it was a mismatch. It was a mismatch.
It's true. Pew Pew's been a member for 20 months and said, I pissed off USA once. What did I do? I ran.
That's funny. And then you got hungry. You slipped on Greece. You fell on China while eating turkey to go the full country thing that we used to do as kids.
Charlie Don't Surf. Outstanding show, gentlemen. Thank you. Oh,
just winging it, Charlie. We're just winging it. Yeah.
All right. Coffee Roaster 99. Discuss Iran. Well, yeah, we did for a while.
Did we discuss Iran or no?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, he might have put that up early on or something.
Well, it was a half hour in, so maybe he joined late. We had been already talking about Iran probably for 20 minutes at that point.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right.
Thinking Too Hard 95. Love the show as always, guys, but midstream ads do get annoying. The interruptions aren't fun. but I won't pay for YouTube Premium. Just wondered if Mark has any opinions about this issue.
Yeah, I couldn't express it any more than I have. These are your three alternatives. Thank you for the 25, by the way. Not to disparage that.
He is.
You
winking.
could watch it.
He is winking as he says it. So.
You could watch it live. You could watch it live. You could watch it on Locals, God forbid, also for free. Or you could join YouTube Premium, which I've done, and you'll never look back. So you've got three alternatives for people at home. Three. The people, first of all, you'd have to be after the show to see the ads, but the people who are watching the show tomorrow, I'm talking to you now from the past. I'm talking to you in the future. These are your three alternatives starting tomorrow. And there's people just rip their hair out thinking there's no alternative to this. And God forbid we should lose any more money on this fucking show by having ads on it, for Christ's sakes. But thank you. And we could use every penny at this point.
We need every penny at this point. Good God. And when Warsaw, there was another shooting of a synagogue in Trump. It's happening a lot now. Where are the RCMP? Who are these people? Yeah, she's out of Canada. So
I don't understand. She in Trump?
There
was another shooting of a synagogue in Canada.
I think it's in Canada, and it just makes some things together, but. Right. I get it. Yeah. Where are the RCMP and who are the people?
Yeah. I would use the embargo weapon against Canada to bring about civil rights and civil liberties by our standards in that nation. You want to keep it up? That's fine. You want to use Jews as scapegoats? You want to violate civil liberties? You want to do that? We have to bring at least these three allies, Mexico on our border, Canada on our border, and the UK as one of our closest allies, equal to our civil liberties and civil rights. I'm sorry, it's just not acceptable to have a fascist ally at this point in world history.
All right. True.
And the weapon to be used is tariffs. And the weapon to be used is, when I say embargo, I mean tariffs. And I think Trump is now saying embargo, I think, on purpose.
A couple Rumble rants that I'll slide in here with these two. Hands one pack, or PK, use UV dye, not blue dye, can mark people without them knowing, can dispense from drones, and if needed, water cannons. I think they want the blue because of the shame,
they want
to discourage people from doing it.
Well, also to pick them up. They use this in all these other countries to identify the people they're looking for.
Well, no, I know that, but I'm saying that you could do that with the UV, like was suggested there, and then they won't know.
Why make a federal project out of it? Run them over UV lights and everything. They're totally blue people, like they came out of the Blue Man Group. It's easy pickings.
Right. And again, the humiliation. I mean, I think some of it's preventative. No, I mean, yes, you want to capture the ones you have, but then you want other people to go, shit, I don't want to walk around being blue for 2 days or, whatever.
Yeah.
Teddy Ball Game. Mark, have you bagged any senators or members of Congress other than Lisa Murkowski? I'll leave you to that.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. It's so funny. You throw up a joke that in my world would just, roll off people's back. You get a laugh out of it, right? These people, it's like lingers for weeks. It's just too much to understand. They put up some ugly picture of Murkowski. So in a Dice Clay way, I said I banged her. You know what I mean? It's just a throwaway joke. Well, you have never seen more analysis of a throwaway one-line Dice Clay thing that I've seen on X in the past 4 days. I mean, get a life, people. Get a fucking life. I mean, the lack of sense of humor on the right is breathtaking. But this guy gets it. But the analysis, I mean, really, it's just so funny.
Well, it's funny because technically on the right can meme.
Yeah,
that's something they're good
at. Yeah.
Other things not. It's
not so good.
Different kind of comic style.
Their semantical analysis of words in humor is just breathtakingly autistic. I don't know what it is. Look, I come from Brooklyn. We got big mouths. We make jokes. I don't know any other way to live. But you would have thought that I had filmed the assassination of Kennedy by the analysis of this one-line joke.
I somehow missed that, and I don't feel bereft that I didn't.
No, there was some guy just before the show. He put up a comment. You know, that, like I said to you, we've had this many times. He put up a couple of Kennedy questions, and in those two questions, he put all his presumptive statements. You know, that they put in. You know,
is that the one who said the throat angle would have to be equal to the ground to get the throat through the windshield, and
right, and also that Ruby couldn't have been in two places at one time.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying instead of,
he's been waiting for an answer for a while. He's been
I answered him. It took me 5 seconds. But I said, there's no reason to put in disparaging presumptive statements. You could just ask two fucking questions and I'll answer you. There's no reason to put in, oh, Ruby couldn't have been in two places at once, bro. You know, and I said, okay, let me tell you the Seth Cantor statement that Ruby was at Parkland at 1:30, and that Tippett was killed at 1:15 or 1:10, more precisely. The distance in a car between the two places is 15 minutes. Have a nice day. It took me 5 seconds to answer a question where he had to put in disparaging remarks. I don't know the guy. Just ask a simple question. You know, it's just shocking to me that they go to character assassination within their questions. And then he asked the same thing about the throat shot. And Eric and I took Eric up there at the overpass. It's 15 feet off the ground. Just so people were answering this guy's question, you know, how can there be a throat shot through the windshield? The actual overpass, which I suggest is where this throat shot came from, is 15 feet off the road. Just think about that, folks, from a shot through a windshield into someone's throat from that distance, not from 40, 50, 60 feet in the air from a building, just a throat shot. And this guy
there's a mark in the windshield.
Right.
The windshield
he didn't even
caused the bullet to potentially shift directions. It's not unusual. And
right. But not only that, he presumes the road is straight and flat, which it's not.
It was going uphill. The car is,
but it's also a winding road.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, it's just so difficult. It makes it worse when you begin to attack me in your question. It just doesn't end well. But I answered it anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I figured it would help other people.
Said Rubio said we attacked Iran because Israel is going to attack Iran. What does that mean? Technically, he did not say that.
Right, of course he didn't say that. This is just what I'm talking about.
He implied it because he said that Iran was going to be attacked.
Yeah.
It would probably be Israel, but he did not say Israel is attacking Iran. He never said that. But anyway.
Well, he shortened it for effect, thinking he would trick us into believing that the first part of his question was true. Right. I don't even know what that is. Is that some sort of a thing, like a presumptive question that, you know what I mean? You say, you've been banging my wife for years now. Why didn't you get her to take out the garbage? You go, wait, I haven't been banging your wife for years. I don't know what you're talking about. You know, when they put this thing in there must be some sort of linguistic name for that. You know, where it's presumptive in the front of a question. You would know this. I don't know this. You know this.
Yeah, it's almost in a straw man category because that's like, so you're saying, like, you can always tell a straw man often has so you're saying as the lead up to it. But some of these, I don't know.
I don't know what to call it, but they add on unfactual opinions on the front end of their question.
Yeah, it's a framing. They're pre-framing.
Well, they're framing it wrong and intentionally wrong.
Yeah.
Like this guy said, how do you've contradicted yourself by saying this? I didn't contradict myself. First of all, he hasn't seen all our videos. And I said, watch this one video. You'll see where I explain about the overpass. Well, I didn't get to see that. And I said, don't get back. I said, don't come back with a moving of the goalpost, bro, where you just go, oh, well, how do you explain this then? I said, I ain't answering that one.
All right. Free Speech said, heard a story while filming in Helsinki. Finnish teens jam vodka-soaked tampons up their butts for a quicker drunk and no alcohol breath.
Yeah.
I have heard that people can get a buzz from their sphincter.
Well, everybody does that with heroin. They do that with coke. It's not just that in Helsinki. It's done in the United States by junkies. I mean, it's not. Finland doesn't own that. Okay. Keistering is a thing. That's your new word for today.
I've heard that word before, but
yeah, probably from me.
No, I've actually heard it before you.
Oh,
it's one
okay.
of the rare ones that it's like, yeah, I've heard that before.
Okay.
But yeah. William Radcliffe. Don't expect me to say that name. Of our dead leader is the new supreme target.
Oh, okay. Wow, boy, that guy's got a target on his back, huh?
Okay, yeah.
I hope he hasn't seen one of the dentists. Dude.
I don't know. Let me see. Brendan 6461, restoring the art of civil discourse one show at a time. Appreciate the relevant facts we hear from Mark. Thank you both. Except my facts are just out the window, right? No. See, that would be an example. A lot of people will answer as if there was something saying. And so that's an example, right? Thank you both. When Bleep hits the fan, I come here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some of these things I kind of felt it would happen Friday night because I had some source that told me the UK emptied their embassy at Tehran Friday morning. So that was my reason for saying on Friday that I thought the attack would start on Friday night. That being said, they finally have closed the road in front of Mar-a-Lago. After everything I've been saying for over 2 years, they finally have closed Southern Boulevard in front of Mar-a-Lago and are rerouting the traffic.
True. Oh, another reason that Trump likes to do these things on Friday nights. Mark and I talked offline, but my theory is he doesn't want to muck with the stock market. So by doing it on Friday, it gives a little time for things to settle in before the market goes bonkers on a Monday or whatever. He is concerned about the economy too. So
I just want to point out, I don't know if you got another super chat there, but there's a story about, let me just get this in. There's the story about these hospices. Now, Dr. Oz is working in LA, finding these phony medical businesses here in a medical LA Doge, and Newsom has attacked him on every different level that he was selling, products online when he was a doctor. I mean, he's really reached a new low, Newsom. But one thing that Oz has found out is that nationwide, there's 7,000 hospices, Eric, in the entire country. The entire nation, there's 7,000. In New York, there's 39. New York, big state, big operation, right? Florida, which has more old people than anyone, has 91 hospices. California has 2,800 illegal Medicare-funded hospices that Oz has now targeted Newsom, and Newsom is having a heart attack because he is wide open for this, and he's now attacking verbally Oz's personality and credentials. And look, think about that. 91 in the entire state of Florida, and California has 2,800 funded by the federal government, and they're going to go down because 95% of them, Dr. Oz said, are illegal.
By the way, that's even worse because Florida has traditionally had a little bit of a scam problem themselves.
Yeah.
So that in the Miami area specifically. Yeah. So that's probably including a few illegals in Florida.
Yeah,
too.
no,
Those
absolutely.
numbers are scary different.
Dude, how about
Holy
39, the two states, the two big blue states, New York with 39 and California with 2,800. This is Newsom has nowhere to run on this one. Oz has him by his greasy hair. I mean, this thing is great. He's squirming like a fat rat. This is going to be great. I just wanted to get that in there in between your super chats.
No, that's great. American Dreamer, what will Democrats do when there's peace on earth?
That's not going to happen as long as they're in power. That's for sure, because they'll give, the thing with the Iranian situation is if they get a nuclear weapon, and that's where they were heading for this in this particular thing. Everybody was passing the buck on it, the limited damage that other countries have done to them and their attacks and everything else. they can dictate policy in London. They can dictate policy in New York. They can dictate policy, obviously, in Israel. It will be the supreme weapon, and they will not use it like the rest of the West has used it. They will be aggressive in using this as their sword of Damocles against the West and the Christian world. This fight is coming, whether you like it or not. You can fight them now, or you can fight them as on your knees when they're beheading you like Daniel Pearl was beheaded. But the fact is, Trump knows this, and he's being super aggressive going after them and ending this thing. Whether there's regime change or not, the damage that he's done to this infrastructure and this government and this administration, or whatever you want to call it, is enormous, enormous, which will set them back quite a bit.
Keep in mind that they were emulating North Korea.
Absolutely.
They were influenced by North Korea. Why is North Korea continuously allowed to be what they are? Because they have nukes. Why do you think Iran wants nukes?
I agree, but
so
North Korea is not
bully everybody.
North Korea is not giving money and arms to Hezbollah.
Thank God.
And
No,
ISIS. Right? No,
Yeah.
they have contained their world because they're boxed in. The Iranians have used their money and power and oil, which North Korea doesn't have, to undermine their Arab neighbors who have now all turned against them. This is not just Trump. This is all these other Arab countries, including putting Tucker in the uncomfortable position of having Qatar involved in this thing. I don't know, where does Tucker go now, Eric?
Well, Qatar directly contradicted Tucker, where I think you're going with this, because Tucker came out with this bullshit video stating that Mossad was caught in Qatar and Saudi Arabia planting bombs. And the Qatar, I think it was a foreign minister of Qatar or whatever, came out and said, no, they do not know of anything like that. It is not.
He's drunk, bro. He's drunk. I'm sorry. I just can't think a rational person would say this stuff. I'm sorry. It's just insane. He's got to be taken away to a rehab. I'm sorry. It's just too much. It's too much.
What about his brother?
Oh, that I don't know. I don't know what the deal with his brother, but JD Vance has got to get his ducks in a row. This is being handed to him on a silver platter. If he's willing to go down in flames over these two mutts, he's crazy. I mean, cut your ties and wipe your hands of these people. It's just not worth it, bro. You're being handed the presidential nomination by the Republican Party, and you are mucking up the greatest political gift ever given to a vice presidential candidate, to become a presidential candidate, and you can't find any way to separate yourself from these guys? Come on. It's ridiculous. This guy, man, does he have a political bone in his body?
Oh, he does, but it's we may not like it. But he's been very, very, very quiet himself.
Well, people notice quiet. Quiet does not mean you're not involved. No. I'm just saying. When you can't denounce fucking Nazis, people notice that, bro. Especially in my community.
Yeah. Let me see. Lisa Deed. Trump is Trump. Bibi doesn't control him.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so insane. It's such a ridiculous, childish argument. Jesus, for the love of God.
And insulting. I mean,
it's so insulting. I mean, it's just absurd.
I agree. Mike Schaefer, 2808. Democrats' hate for Trump outweighs their love of truth or what they hold most dear to their own detriment.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. They do not care. There was a statement by Mao. It said, I forget what it was. Is our enemy is our oppressor, or it was like the reverse of. It sounded like the Democrats. I'd have to look it up. It's in Mao's little red book, but it was whoever our enemy's enemy was our enemy, and this whole reversal, or any good that our enemy does, we must denounce. Mao discussed that if our enemy does anything good, we must take the opposite stance on it. He dealt with this in his little red book, Mao, which all of these cats have read.
Sure, but not directly, but they have read it in the
yeah. No, I mean, look,
it's been distilled into other literature.
Yeah, it's distilled into other literature. Absolutely.
Patriot Biker, the Dems are so worried Trump will look good to us. I agree. John Springer, I'm sure if I look I could find condemnation from China and Russia over Epic Fury, but it seems to be mostly muted. Do you think they're just watching, waiting, and hoping it backfires? No, I think they've got their own problems, and they're
they're busy with their own problems, John. I mean, this happens before. I mean, we took out Assad. I mean, they made a statement about Maduro, but at the end of the day,
what you're weak sauce state.
Right. At the end of the day, you're beginning to see the massive behemoth that the U.S. is and its military might, which many of us have either not been exposed to, not been aware of, or have forgotten because of democratic propaganda. The amount of military might that we have, when properly used, dwarfs these countries on a scale of 20 to 1. The amount of ships that we sent into that Gulf, when you saw that map, Eric, seeing every single U.S. fleet ship out there, nobody has that. We forget or don't know because they don't want us to know how the military might of this country dwarfs the rest of the world, and they certainly don't want to use it. Trump has now said, I'm going to use it to get our political way in the world, and they are shocked that he's using this. I mean, the Democrats are. The rest of the world, if they had it, they'd use it every day.
Well, and that's part of the reason they're quiet too, is they don't want to draw attention to themselves.
No, absolutely.
Because it's like, it's like, well, the eye is going around, you're going to keep your head down.
Did you see the naval presence in the Gulf that we put into there? I mean, it is astounding, the level of naval presence that we were able to put in there. I mean, just amazing amount of ships and weaponry in there. And you forget, or I forget, just how massive our military is, because you have to use it every once in a while, people, to get your way in the world, unless you believe we should be an isolationist country, which many of these people who are following some of these pundits believe in isolationism. Well, the world's going to come for you, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, D. Hackins, the Clinton Congress hearings should have been set up as yes and no answers only.
Not only that, they shouldn't have allowed her to pick where she's going to be interviewed. Did Bannon and the rest of them have the choice of doing it in their bathrooms? Give me a fucking break. Why do they have to go to Chappaqua, New York, to some performance center to interview these private citizens? Right away, you're on the defensive, that you're on their turf. You should have demanded that they show up at X hour like everybody else on a Monday fucking morning. No rules, no anything, and just answer questions. Yes or no questions is an easier way to do it. But the first maneuver they fucked up was going to Chappaqua.
That's true. I have one question.
I've never heard of this before.
Well, this question might be controversial, but I can't stand Hillary Clinton. I'd love to see her go down, but why was she even being interviewed anyway? I don't think she was sleeping with any of them.
No,
I don't feel like, Bill had his peccadillos, but I don't remember Hillary being on the plane. I don't remember Hillary being with them.
Part of it was Ghislaine Maxwell was in the first row of her daughter's wedding, and she claimed not to know her. She was invited. She claimed she was invited by someone else to the wedding, but it was the most exclusive wedding in the world at the time, with about 500 guests. So she lied about her connection to Maxwell, which opened the door to something. I mean, but again, this is a witch hunt that history will record as a witch hunt, as Michael Tracy has said.
Okay, well, but what I'm saying is that they were pursuing her to get her in front of Congress before they even asked that, and that's why I'm just confused. That's all. Martha Weeb is a new member. Thank you. William Ratcliffe. They're now selling Faraday body robes and turbans.
Well, they're going to have to wear it over their heads and in their body parts if they've got location devices in their intestines.
It would be reasonable to be a little bit paranoid if you.
Yep.
Ken Martin, 25% likes. It's a record.
25% likes of the show, you mean?
Yeah, people hitting like while they're watching. Sometimes it's like pulling teeth. They don't like to hit like. We've got a mod in there asking all the time, please hit like, please hit like.
These people don't care about anybody but themselves.
Anyway, Al Gonzalez said, breaking news, a Minneapolis judge has overruled Khomeini's death.
He's back. Khomeini is back and he will be reseated according to this federal judge. He needs to be reseated back into his throne.
Yeah. Sean Lucan, great show, gentlemen. Thank you. Well, thank you.
There's a guy in LA here who I voted for, a young Asian guy. I don't know what type of Asian he is. His name is Kenneth Mejia, M-E-J-I-A, and he is the city controller of Los Angeles, which is an elected position. And his job, Mejia, is to watch over the money, the billions of dollars in LA that have mysteriously disappeared. This is an elected position, and they're trying. I can't even make this up, so I'm just going to tell you what happened here. They have signed legislation to alter the city contract of LA and created a bill, not a bill, just a ruling or a statement to abolish the city controller's office. And he has come up with all these massive fraud scandals and replace him with a CFO that would be reporting an appointee to Karen Bass, the mayor. I mean, you couldn't be more brazen in a cover-up of corruption. This is insane. This is like a mafia last-ditch Hail Mary effort by the mayor to keep this guy who has done nothing controversial. This guy is an independent elected official who has not made any statements. He's uncovered fraud. He's uncovered the corruption. And now, because of that, they have to eliminate his office from the Soviet Politburo and replace. What's that?
Obviously.
Right, obviously. And replace him with a chief financial officer, quote unquote, who will basically eliminate his job and would be reporting directly to the person who appointed him. And that would be the mayor, Karen Bass.
Right.
And we're not supposed to notice this nor say anything.
Because
the guy is saying stuff. He's actually being interviewed every day now by local news because even they're getting nervous. Even local news, leftist news is going, this may be a bridge too far, Eric. Kenneth Mejia.
Well, good luck to him. Stacey Michaels gifted to 10 America's Untold Stories.
I like this Michaels chick. She's going to go far.
I hope so.
This is a good chick. She's going to go far.
Obviously, yeah. with a great discerning taste.
Yep.
Mr. Mike, Mark, you're making me want to grab my Play-Doh and go to my safe space.
I don't know what that means, but thank you for that.
Space, because you're making them nervous.
I see what you're saying. Right. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Quarantrol. Well, that's a weird one. This reminds me. Do you still have or ever release those greatest at JFK era stickers? What?
Maybe she's talking about the cards.
I don't know.
Maybe she's talking about the JFK trading cards, Eric.
Yeah, the cards are down now. They got to be shipped to me, and we'll figure something out. But I don't know about any stickers. So I'm not sure. Thank you for the super chat, but I don't quite understand the question. Scott Binbo, Trump is changing the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this guy's going for it. He's going for the full Monty here. This is so far bigger than any presidency that we've ever had, and he is going for it. Come hook or by crook, whether you like what he's doing or not, he's going for it. And what Scott is saying is true. He's trying to change the face of the earth.
Yeah, I haven't seen this much movement in a 4-year term since Polk.
Nope. Yeah,
but Polk. I mean, you have to go back to the 30s or whatever.
No, but I mean, his foreign policy, he's trying to alter the face of civilization at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pirate Kin, this is a question for Mark. What is the status of the repairs and cleanup from the devastating LA fires that destroyed all those Pacific Palisades homes? Has the governor taken control yet to get things done?
Well, I'll tell you this, but I'll give you one example. There's a place called the Bowl up there. It's up on a hill, and it had a couple of hundred mobile homes that one of my friends lived in, and people owned the mobile homes. It was in Malibu, one of the greatest pieces of real estate in the world. They all burned to the ground. All the mobile homes are all gone, and they owned them individually. These mobile homes, they were great. They really were great. And now the owners of the property are selling it for $90 million, the property itself. And they're telling the potential buyers they could build low-income housing, whatever the fuck they want to build on it, which I'm sure they will. But the actual people who own those places were hoping to put another trailer there to have another home where it was, and that's gone out the window because they don't own the land. They're being sold by the owners of the land that had the trailer park on it. And the other places have been flipped. Some of the other lots around Pacific Palisades have been flipped 2 or 3 times already. Sometimes for $1 million, then $1.5 million, then $1.2 million, then $1.1 million, you know, and making $1 million or 500 or $1.5 million per flip. So this whole thing, as I predicted, has led to just a flipping of parcels to make money off of the transaction, which has happened now multiple times in the real estate market with nothing being built.
Nothing like it.
Yeah. That's a little bit detailed, that answer, but I'm just...
No, I mean, that's, I'm sure
yeah.
if you want. Dog's Nose 2, what's up with Trump neck rash? Hope he's not sick. Somebody said
Dude, you never had a rash?
You never had lotion that he had to put on, and it's got, it's
okay,
reaction.
the guy's a beast. What do you want this guy to do, bro? What do you want him to do? He has a rash. I mean, you know...
Well, they did state that it is a reaction to an ointment that he's wearing, and it's going to be that way for like 6 weeks, I think.
All right,
something. So
that's weird.
Let's see. Quarantrol. Yes, the cards. Bad auto type issues. I don't have a setup for them at the moment. You can go to americasuntoldstories.com/contact and fill out the form there, and I don't know. We'll try to figure something out.
Right on.
I just don't have a...
Sure, now you want them. You didn't want them then, did you, you fat bastard? Sure, all of a sudden we're sold out. Now you want them.
Jake Massey. Love the Long Beach hat. Go dirtbags.
Oh, it says Lord Buckley, in case you didn't know, Jake. So good luck with your Long Beach dirtbags.
Okay. Well, we are going to hang out with our locals beach dirtbags right now. Heading over there again, as usual. You know, you can be a member there for free. Costs nothing. Just like you can subscribe here. I'm almost hesitant to mention that you can subscribe.
Buy that book. That's all I can tell you. Buy that book.
Malice America. Buy that one over the one you were just talking about.
Which one?
I don't know. You.
No. This is the one I was talking about.
No, you were talking about. No, this is today. You were talking about another one a couple of weeks ago.
That I don't.
I forgot that one.
Okay.
Anyway.
I can't remember that.
You'll have to go back to tune into the episode. So
that was a different time period.
Go for now by Mouse America and
get the audio version. It's read by not by her. She's got a broken Chinese accent, but it's read by an actress.
Cool. I like audio anyway, but whatever.
Yeah. The by the way, the intro is read by your friend James. What's his face?
Lindsay.
Yeah.
Oh,
the intro to the book.
Oh, then that makes sense that
follow
prayer. Okay, well, cool. All right. Well, we're gonna head over to locals. I hope you consider following us there.
You know, you could join the thing. I know this sounds crazy, but
sure.
You could join something, you fat fucks. I mean, it wouldn't kill you. It's like $50 a year.
All right. Well, and Flea Speech did have a Rumble rant that snuck in at the end.
Whoop.
Mark, did Copenhagen Magnetic Man from U.S. Weekly World News really die after walking past a hardware store? Okay, that's a deep cut.
Man, that's obscure. I don't know about that, bro. I wasn't there forever. I was only there for a short period of time. I don't know the answer to all these. I don't know the answer to every weekly world news question. I wasn't there forever.
Yeah, well, you know, bring that question to locals.
Bring it over to locals. Maybe we could pick it apart.